Have you ever wondered if money can truly buy happiness? This question has been at the heart of countless debates, and yet, society seems to often equate wealth with joy. The gleaming supercars, the sprawling mansions, the glittering jewels, and the seemingly endless vacations paint a picture of pure bliss. But is this picture an accurate representation of reality? Let's take a step back and ponder. Is it possible that these shiny objects and lavish lifestyles are merely a facade, a glossy cover for an underlying void of true happiness? Could it be that the elation we associate with wealth is more fleeting than we tend to admit? What if I told you that there are those who have amassed fortunes beyond our wildest dreams, and yet, they find themselves ensnared in a paradox where the more they accumulate, the less content they feel? Now prepare yourself to delve into some inspiring real-life stories that challenge this popular belief. Meet John, a self-made millionaire who seems to have everything one could wish for. But is he truly happy? Now, let's delve into John's story. John grew up in a middle-class neighborhood, dreaming of the day he could call himself a millionaire. He put in the hours, climbed the corporate ladder, and eventually, he hit the jackpot. He bought a mansion, a luxury car, and had more money than he knew what to do with. But with his newfound wealth, he found an unexpected companion: emptiness. The days of simple pleasures seemed distant. The joy he once found in a cup of coffee with friends, a walk in the park, or a good book, seemed to have been replaced by board meetings, stress, and unending social obligations. Despite being surrounded by material possessions, he felt an unshakable loneliness. Despite his riches, John's story tells us that wealth doesn't always equate to happiness. Now, let's turn our attention to Mary, a woman of meager means yet radiating joy. How is that possible? Picture Mary, a woman living in a small apartment furnished with second-hand items, each one carrying a story of its own. Her income is modest, yet she never complains about the lack of luxuries. Instead, she finds joy in life's simple pleasures. The smell of fresh coffee in the morning, the sound of children's laughter from the park across the street, the warmth of her old, fluffy cat purring on her lap. Mary's wealth lies in her relationships. The unending support from her close-knit circle of friends, the love she shares with her family, the sense of community she feels in her neighborhood. She cherishes these bonds more than any material possession. Mary's life is not about accumulating wealth, but about appreciating what she has. She lives each day with gratitude, contentment, and a smile that is worth more than any bank balance. Mary's life is a testament to the fact that happiness doesn't always come with a price tag. So, what can we learn from John's and Mary's stories? Well, each of their narratives paints a vivid picture of two different sides of the coin. John, the millionaire, had all the riches you could imagine: a mansion, luxury cars, designer clothes, and yet, all that wealth didn't bring him the happiness he sought. He was constantly stressed, barely had time to breathe, and despite his opulent lifestyle, he was lonely and unhappy. On the other hand, we have Mary, the pauper. She didn't have the riches that John did. Her house was small, her clothes were simple, and she didn't have a fancy car. But what she did have was happiness. She found joy in the simple pleasures of life, like watching the sunrise or reading a good book. She had strong relationships with her friends and family, and she loved her work. Despite her financial circumstances, she was content and fulfilled. The contrast between these two stories underscores a key point. Money doesn't always equate to happiness. Yes, money can buy comfort. It can provide a nice house, a comfortable car, and the freedom to do many things, but it can't buy the joy of a beautiful sunrise, the warmth of a good conversation with a friend, or the fulfillment that comes from doing meaningful work. This is not to say that money is bad or unnecessary, it's just a reminder that it's not the end-all be-all. It's important to seek happiness in the simple things, in relationships, and in personal fulfillment. More often than not, these are the things that bring real and lasting happiness. In the grand scheme of things, it's not how much money you have that matters, but how you use it and what you value most. It's about finding balance and understanding what truly matters to you. Remember, money can buy comfort, but it can't always buy happiness. Seek joy in the simple things and you'll find that happiness is truly priceless.